Spencer with the Star Together family here in our classroom. This is our second studio. Our addition. We call it the classroom now.
There you go.
Because we do have the Stronger Together Education Academy, which is focused on creating better professional development for PE teachers and homeschooling parents so that they can create more athletic, more gifted, and more physically fit children. That's what we're currently working on, so we now have this classroom for that future endeavor or current endeavor. Speaking of what we're doing, what is it you do for a living, my brother?
Oh, wow. Thanks for asking, buddy. I appreciate it.
I don't really care, in case you're wondering.
Well, people out there might.
They probably care.
I am a Finnish carpenter by trade. That's one of them. I'm a bartender by trade. That's two of them. I'm also a personal trainer by trade. That's three trades. I'm a man of many hats, I would say. But my job down here in Yuma is a Finnish carpenter, i.e. trim, doors, woodwork. But apparently everybody's got drywall issues, so I'm a drywaller in Yuma. And I hate drywall.
Is there a difference between Finnish contracting and Norwegian contracting?
Yes. One is Finland, one is Norwegian. Norway.
Norway over there.
Norway over there. Norway over there.
All right, so what are we talking about today, Greg?
Woohoo! Shitty drivers!
Okay, we're talking about traffic more specifically.
Shitty traffic!
Caused by
shitty drivers!
All right, so if your name is Ashley or Leslie, you've heard my many frustrations with driving around, and this is not particular in the town we currently live in, Yuma, Arizona. This is in general because California,
all over the country.
All over the country. Do you know who has horrible drivers? Is Hobbs, New Mexico.
So
where we live for a while.
I'm gonna start off.
Okay.
You shut up. Here we go.
Okay.
So I have had the opportunity to live all over this great country. It's not great as much as more, but all over this country. And I realized that there are definitely different types of drivers, good and bad, all over the country. No matter what state you're in, no matter what city you're in, there are shitty drivers everywhere. But I'm going to start off with the first one. And what I found out in my life is that there is a difference between West Coast and East Coast. West Coast, sorry to say, guys, you are not the worst drivers. That is the East Coast title. Why I say that is because the West Coast, yes, people are annoying in the West Coast. There's too many drivers, too many people. The West Coast has more annoying drivers and more little stuff that pisses you off. But East Coast is more grandioso. They do more bigger blunders than anything. They're the type of person that will drive 35 miles an hour in the fast lane when it's 70. They do huge blunders. West Coast does annoying stuff. So in my what I would consider worse, I would consider the big blunders versus the more annoying stuff to be worse drivers. So sorry, East Coast. That's my take on it.
Gotcha. All right, this is universal, and mentioning New Mexico, Hobbs, New Mexico was the worst place that I experienced it. Oh, it's bad here in Yuma, it's bad in San Diego, it's bad everywhere I've ever been. I do not like, I get frustrated when you're driving, okay, let's say you're on the inside lane. You're on a 4-lane road, because I think if you have 2 lanes and they have 2 lanes, they call it a 4-lane, right? So I'm in a 2-lane and I'm in the middle lane, and there's someone turning right, and they can take the outside lane, right? Build up the speed and possibly even get in front of me. No, what do? They go all the way into my lane when they clearly saw me coming and go really slow.
Because they got a semi.
They saw the speed of me coming, and as they turn out, instead of going to the outside lane, I'm not sure if that's the legal either. I think they like to take the outside lane. They like to pull right in front of you and then go super slow. As they remain super slow.
Yes.
And you have no choice but to pull in right behind them and go, oh my God, what am I going to do? Hobbs was really, really bad for that. They just love to get right into that lane. You're like, you have both lane options. Which one do you want? The one right where I am. I think that's my #1 annoyance with drivers.
I'm going to say, all right, now I have made a list for Yuma drivers. You ready?
It's a big list.
Yuma, #1. Nah, just kidding. All right. So my favorite, one of my favorites is this one. I love the idiot that basically stops to make a right-hand turn. They don't continue on with the right-hand turn. It's safe. There's nobody crossing the wall. There's anybody turning left. There is a completely open lane for you to turn right, and they will come to a almost complete stop to make that turn. They will turn so slow that you have to physically stop behind them, which I think is ridiculous.
So yes, as happened to me yesterday, there is a difference between a yield sign and a stop sign and a stoplight.
People don't know the difference.
People don't know the difference. So they'll just sit there and post up and be like, I'm just gonna hang out here for the next 45 minutes. All right, so you want to know, this is the minor annoyance that is like, to me, it's just like, since I drive a truck, and I'm not gonna say I drive the biggest truck in the world, but I do drive a truck. I don't like it when you have 2 lanes again, you can be on the left lane and I'll be on the outside right lane. And when they drive literally where their tires are on the line, you're like, you have the entire lane of your own lane, but you're literally driving down the divider line, the separated check mark lines. They're literally driving tires on that line, and it's like, oh my God, why do you not understand that these are for separating traffic? Okay, you have your lane, I have my lane, but you want to ride that lane. Okay? All right.
Blinkers!
Oh yeah, those are lost.
Blinkers!
Yeah, have you ever replaced your blinker fluid?
Is that like dough repair kit?
It's also get a box of curveballs. Hey, can you go to the storage shed and get us a box of curveballs?
Yeah, blinkers. Okay, I'm going to go West Coast and East Coast again. West Coast, I wrote it down. West Coast, and when I mean West Coast, I'm talking about your Nevadas and your Utah and your Arizonas and everything like that. No, somebody's going to get mad at me when I say Nevada, but it's Nevada, people. I'm also representing my daughter, University of Utah Utes.
Would you
just graduated
the West Coast?
Go Riley. What?
Would Utah be West Coast?
Utah would be considered West Coast. So, if I'm talking East Coast and West Coast, blinkers. West Coast is probably 40% of people use the blinkers, 60% don't. East Coast, nobody uses a fucking blinker in East Coast. They don't even know what they are. There you go.
What about the people who leave their blinker on?
They're old.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've done it before. I've been going miles. I'm like, oh shit.
How do you not look at, this is what I don't understand. You literally are driving down the street and you should look, check your speed every once in a while, check your at the middle of the dash every once in a while. People will literally drive miles down the freeway with their blinker on.
What if you're a cool guy racer and you got a tachometer and you don't need to look at your speedometer because you got some cool gadgets on your.
No, we don't talk about that.
Oh, yeah. All right, a lot of those live here, by the way.
2 that get me. I'm gonna go back to back.
Back to back.
All right.
I'm gonna take a nap then.
These are not necessarily traffic, but these are people on the road. A, if someone lets you in, wave and say thank you.
Thank you. Courtesy.
Courtesy. You don't have to let everyone in, but you're a jerk if you're sitting in the line and you know that this person's coming out of a shopping center per se. Everyone is stopped at the light, and you see the car right there, and you know they're turning, and you don't let them in. You're a jerk. Because it's literally 5 seconds out of your life to make their life easier. You're a jerk not to let them in.
But they turn into the bigger asshole.
Yeah, but they then turn into a bigger a-hole. If you let them in, you can cuss all you want. Asshole. Okay, I just say big gray.
Big gray.
If you let them in and they don't wave, like you have automatic windows now? Roll that window down, you crank real quick.
Thanks.
Okay? And say, thank you, stick that hand out the window.
What about the rear view? The rear was
you can do one finger. One finger salute.
Thank you.
Okay? You are a bigger jerk if you don't allow that to happen.
Got it.
All right?
That's one. Number 2.
That's number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Dropping number 2 on you.
Gotcha.
If you're texting while you walk across the street, no offense, you deserve to get hit. No offense, but pull your head out of where the number 2 comes from. This is probably 2 years ago. I literally taught a 5 a.m. class, right? Way back in the day. I still teach a 5 a.m. We still have a 5 a.m. class, but this is back when we were at our old facility. And I was leaving and it was still pitch black. Person crossing the middle of the street, pitch black at 5 a.m. And I literally didn't see him until almost impact because they were wearing like all black. It's pitch black out and I wasn't on my phone. I was driving and all of a sudden, and they're literally like this. Because I could see the phone. That's what kept them from getting hit was their phone was light up. The light of the guy closing up and they're walking across. They weren't even in the crosswalk to make it even worse. They were just crossing the street. Okay. Also, get off your phone if you're in a parking lot.
Yes.
You deserve to get hit. I hope you don't get hit, but you deserve it.
Yes.
And then I guess the third thing, slow down in parking lots because there are people walking in the parking lot on their phone, completely oblivious to everyone around them. And people drive 50 miles an hour down the parking lane or whatever in parking lots here. So I can't understand that. So those two wrongs don't make it right, but both of those are going to lead to disaster. And I'm surprised more accidents like that.
I am surprised, actually.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'm going to go with it baffles me, the fact that you are stopped at a red light. The car is at the light by the sidewalk. Then you have cars behind them backing up. I don't understand why cars leave so much space between them and the next car ahead of them. I'm not talking about the first car. I understand that sometimes that first car stops short because of cars making a really cutting a left or whatever, and then you get sideswiped or whatever. I'm talking about the idiot that has 4 to 5 car lengths between them and the car ahead of them, which makes the people behind them not going to make the light because you are too slow on getting, when it turns green, you're just taking your time, oblivious to everybody else, not considerate to everybody else. I don't understand how.
Yeah, I have a theory. What? My theory is that they know that they're that big of an idiot. They're going to check their phone, and while they're on their phone, they're not going to be paying attention, and their wheels are going to creep. They're afraid they're going to hit the car because they don't have that much of a clue. I can get it when you realize like 1, 2, 3 feet maybe your car's rolling.
Oh, of course.
I think that's fine. But remembering back from your driver's ed days, you're supposed to be able to see the bottom of the wheels in front of you. That's the proper spacing.
Yeah.
Because I hate it and it frustrates me. What frustrates me is when there's so much space in between the cars in front of each other, and you're the car who wants to hit the left turn lane, and you're never going to be able to get to the left turn lane.
Some idiot
because there are way too many cars waiting with too much space, and you're like, I'm never going to be able to because the island's right there, and I can't fit in because everyone is backed up too far. That's what frustrates me, and they love to do that here, where it's just like 27 feet between cars.
And it's funny because I would say we're not normally angry people.
Oh, I'm not angry.
Get us in a car around stupid people, and I will have the windows rolled up, and I will be yelling every profanity, everything in the book. But I will keep it to myself in my car. Yeah. But I become angry with idiots.
First time she ever saw me angry, like, what? How do you like this? Was when we were driving. She's like, you just kind of angry. I was like, I'm not an angry person. These people, I like the shirt at the gym that says, I used to be a people person, and then people ruined it for me.
People ruined it for me.
I'm not angry, and then you just say, you're just like, how? You know what's even worse? These people passed the test at one time. At one time, someone said, you know what? You're good enough at this. We're going to give you that license.
Yeah.
Not everyone passes their first time.
My daughter didn't.
Really?
Yeah, Easton didn't.
Our older brother didn't.
Our older brother didn't either.
I'm 1 for 1 on driver exams.
I was the only one in the family that took our test on a stick shift.
Oh, yeah.
That's how badass I am.
What happened?
I passed. Got it, bro.
You sure?
Flying cup.
You had to sleep with the instructor?
I did that just to do it.
Was he nice to you? All right, what else we got? Oh, the slow pulling. Oh yeah, if you're gonna pull in front of someone, like you know that they're coming down the street, and you're gonna pull in. It's a 1-lane street because if it's 2 lanes, you should not be in their lane. Don't go 12 miles an hour. You're in such a hurry. This happened to me today. The guy ran a stop sign to get in front of traffic, which I was the first car coming off of the red light because my F-150 Super Sport had a little get up and go. I was the first. I got the whole shot. I was gone.
He slowed down.
He ran out of the stoplight or the stop sign that's
right.
What's that grocery store right here that I refuse to name with a really healthy food because their mask policy was full of crap. Anyway, we don't need to name. They should already name us. But he literally ran the stop sign just to get out in front of traffic, and I saw the whole. I was like, and then I was like, don't go right in front of me. Don't go right in front of me. Don't go right in front of me. And then he drove slow. Okay.
All right. I love the people that don't make a right-hand turn when they have their own dedicated lane. There is a lane in some turns on a right-hand turn where that right-hand turn lane goes all the way up, and you merge. I don't know if people don't understand that term merge these days. But you continue on with your right turn and you merge into traffic to get over to the left-hand lane if you want to make a left or way down the road. But these idiots will sit at the right-hand turn lane while the light's red and see this huge lane for them and wait. And I'm behind them getting angry and more angry because they have a whole lane.
Oh, so this isn't a perfect world. If you know that you're going, if it's a 2-lane road and you're in the outside lane and you know that there's a light coming up and you're the first car there, please be courteous and get into the left lane because you know people are going to want to turn right. Now, if there's no right turn lane option, some streets have the right turn. A lot of streets here in Yuma, your main streets like 16 going across Avenue C and Avenue B, they don't have a right turn lane. So you have the 2 lanes and people love to sit in that right lane, just wait for that. I'm not saying it's a perfect world because I messed up, but if you can think about it, be nice and go, hey, I'm going to get over to this left lane because I know a lot of people are going to be turning on that.
It's kind of like being on the freeway now. You know, most people, when they merge, they don't look anymore. They don't. People merging onto a freeway don't understand how to look and merge, and it pisses me off because they just assume that you're getting over. Now, a nice driver is going to get over to the left lane and allow that person to merge right. But don't be that ass and assume that person was going to merge, not look, not check out. That was our grandma. They used to do that. Grandma used to just merge. Just, oh, good luck, everybody.
Hey, I go now.
I go now. I go 8 lanes.
Yeah. So I think my last one that I can understand what my chicken scratch is. The over back out. Okay? What does that mean? People who don't know how to back out of their parking spot. You know how, parking spots are small, and if you've driven in California, they're extra small. But the people who back out, you just need enough space in front of you to get past that car. But they come all the way out to the other side, and then they like to drive backwards for a couple miles, and then they 3-point turn and go.
Yep.
So the over back out where you're just waiting for them, like you know you see them pulling out, so you just sit and wait, and they will literally take 45 minutes because they're just, and they just keep coming, and they're backing up towards you, and you're not really worried about it because they're going that slow. But you're like, you could have literally stopped your 3-point turnabout already and gone about 15 minutes ago, and they just keep coming. So they just don't know how to. The depth control of their car is just off, and they don't. Okay.
All right. So we have time for one more.
Sure.
We could probably spend another 7 hours.
We didn't even mention snowbirds.
Oh, snowbirds in Yuma. We'll do another edition of this. My last one would be the asshole that's making a right-hand turn, and all the cars are making a protected left-hand turn into making a left. You got 2 lanes to make a left in, and the asshole that's making a right-hand turn from across the street doesn't care about the left-hand turn, guys. Doesn't care if you go into the far lane. They just keep turning. They just keep turning while the left-hand people are turning. And the left-hand person making the left has the right-of-way, obviously, because they have a protected light. And this idiot in the right-hand lane doesn't want to wait. So he turns going, oh, that person is going to turn into the inside lane, not the outside lane. I should just hit him one time and be like, hey, boom, it's my right-of-way. You're in the fault. But here's the thing. Sadly, most people don't have insurance nowadays. And I would say that's why people are such slow, shitty drivers is because they don't have insurance, so they go extra slow, which makes them worse drivers. But that's my own opinion.
Okay. Did you see what we're going to talk about next week?
I didn't really discuss it. I didn't really look. I looked at a bunch of stuff, but we don't know what we're going to talk about next week.
We have a list, but we didn't check the list. We didn't check it twice.
We haven't finalized it yet.
We haven't finalized. So that's all we have for today. Maybe we'll talk about snowbirds because snowbirds are gone.
Snowbirds is a long time.
That's a good one. All right, but that's all we have for today. I'm Spencer Raven with the Stronger Together Education Academy.
I'm Greg Aiken with him.
All right.
Thank you with him.
All right, thanks guys. See you guys next week.
I'm with him.
I'm with brother.
I'm with stupid. I'm with
All
stupid.
right, see you guys later.
We're so stupid's here. Moron is here.
What do you got now?